right in the middle of the city here, hidden in plain view, is Nakkaş carpet store. And apparently, inside this carpet store, there is a kind of hidden entrance to the Nakilbent Cistern, which is a 6th century Byzantine cistern. Let's see if they'll let us check it out. Hey guys, what is going on location out here in Istanbul, Turkey, and today we are checking out some of the secrets and lesser known attractions of this historic city. Here we are in Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, one of the greatest cities in the history of the world. I'm excited to be here, and one reason for that is because a while back I read a book called My Name is Red. It's written by Orhan Pamuk, the Turkish author who was the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. And I like that book so much that I went on to read his book called Istanbul. And so, for a long time, after reading that, I've wanted to come here. And I bring this up because this building right here is the Museum of Innocence. This is also a book by Orhan Pamuk. They built an entire museum on a fictional book. I think that's awesome. I have not been in this museum yet. I'm only halfway done with the book, but I will go in there. I'm not going to videotape it. I don't want to give away any spoilers. But if you are coming to Turkey, coming to Istanbul, you should read the book and check out this museum. So, today we are going to look for some of the less touristy attractions of Istanbul. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. If you're new to this channel, you're going to realize that I'm not the kind of travel vlogger that's going to say Istanbul was much better than I expected, or Istanbul surprised me, or something like that. Because I read the book, I do a lot of research on this stuff, I come here and I know some cool stuff that I want to check out. And the first thing I want to show you has to do with the cats. Everybody knows that there's cats everywhere. Oh, there's another one. Let's go to the Asian side and dig a little bit deeper into it. I made my way all the way out here to the Zimbabwe neighborhood on the Asian side. It is not far from Bangladesh, which thank you guys in the comments and messaging me on Instagram trying to help me better my pronunciation. I came down here for a specific reason, and that is to see this statue right here. This is Tombili. If you are familiar with some memes, you might know of the chill cat meme. This statue was based on one of the most iconic cats in Istanbul. As you can see, there's a lot of them all over the streets. This cat was known for chilling like this. Well, one of the things that you will notice about Istanbul and Turkey in general is how much the Turks love animals. They got cat food out, there's water. They really take care of animals in this country. And not just cats. Even though Istanbul is known to be the city of cats, you also see the Turks feeding stray dogs, taking care of birds, and that's one of the things I want to go to next. So to further prove my point, I came out here near Üsküdar to the Yeni Valide Cami, the Yeni Valide Mosque. It's an 18th century mosque from the Ottoman Empire. I wanted to show you guys something. Look at the mosque here. You'll notice a little mosque up at the wall, and that is actually a birdhouse. So these birdhouses date back to the 15th century. And so you can see where the Turkish people get their love of animals. It's not anything recent. It goes back a very long time. This is the Bosphorus, or the Bosphorus Strait, which is one of the coolest things about Istanbul. And that is because I'm over here on the Asian continent. Right across the Bosphorus Strait is Europe. So that's the European side of Istanbul. And the Bosphorus Strait connects the Black Sea, which is out that way, to the Sea of Marmara. Down this way, the Sea of Marmara connects to the Aegean Sea, which is between Turkey and Greece, and then that Aegean Sea goes out to the Mediterranean Sea. Down along the Bosphorus, we have one of the oldest landmarks in Istanbul. This is Kalesi, or Maiden's Tower, and it was built back in Byzantine times when this was Constantinople. Believed to have been built in 1110. There's an interesting story behind this. The story is that Maiden's Tower was built because a king had a vision that his daughter would die by a snake bite when she turned 18. So he built this and put her in there to protect her. And then on her 18th birthday, to celebrate, he brought her a basket of fruit. And what do you know? There was a snake hiding in the fruit, and it bit her anyways, and she died. But whether that's true or not, the landmark is true, even though it has been destroyed a couple times, I believe, in an earthquake and a fire. There it is, Maiden's Tower.
This is here only orange, banana, strawberry, kiwi, or lemon. This is only mix here.
Which one's the best one?
Yeah, one.
Yeah, I'll get one.
30.
Okay. All right. Well, the lollipops do not defy gravity. It's like a taffy. Kind of tastes like taffy cotton candy. Pretty good. So if you're near Üsküdar, you can find that guy. One more very cool thing about Istanbul is that your public transportation cards also work on the transcontinental ferries. You've got metros, buses, a transcontinental train, and these ferries, which there are a number of ports that they go to, so I hope that I'm on the right one here. Here we have a view of the Asian side. This is looking east as we are headed west. A lot of very nice scenery in Istanbul. It's everywhere you look. Coming in on the European side, see the Galata Tower. We already made it across from Üsküdar to Karakoy. Took 14 minutes. Pretty quick to change continents. So here we are on Istiklal Caddesi, or Istiklal Avenue. And I know what you're thinking. Why have I brought you to the most touristy part of Istanbul after I said we're gonna look for some less touristy things to do here? And that is because in the 100-year anniversary episode, I did make a promise. Best kebab I've had in my life. I am definitely gonna go back there in a future episode and talk about it. I will show you guys where I ate some of the best Turkish food I've ever had in my life. And it happens to be around the way here in the tourist area, so bear with me. This is where you'll find, well, the Irish pub, James Joyce. For instance, up this street, they always play soccer, and at night, or football, soccer football, right? And at night, this place gets packed out. This is a cool place to go. Again, very touristy. I'm actually staying pretty close to here. I'm on the other side of the boulevard in a neighborhood called Tarlabaşı. And on Airbnb, it said that this was a historical neighborhood near all of the cool restaurants, and while it is near all these restaurants and bars and cafes, I would not recommend going to that place. It is probably, well, I've been told it's the most dangerous neighborhood in Istanbul, and I think that is probably true. So that's not very touristy, but I would not recommend going there. All right, guys, here it is. This restaurant on the corner, I don't know if you can call it street food. There are tables outside, Dürümzade. And like I said, I didn't know what this place was. I sat here right at this table and people came and were taking pictures. And I was like, why are they taking pictures of me? But they're taking pictures of Anthony Bourdain, who went to this restaurant. And I gotta say, it lived up to the hype, which I didn't even know there was hype, but I've been back there maybe 10 times. They close at 9:30 p.m., but if you go, you might want to go earlier. I've come there at 8:30, 8:45, and they've run out of meat. So I put in an order, 2 lamb wraps, which he said are 2 lamb kuzu. This is interesting. You see this around the city too. And I've also seen cars right there changing tires because these are not very forgiving if you come in the wrong way. They only go down one way. I've seen that a couple places, and there's no sign for it. So you just have to know. All right, so let's check this out. This is so good. They told me that the meat is actually beef with lamb fat. And it is amazing. Just cooked perfectly, juicy. Inside we have the meat, parsley, tomato, onions, some spices, and special sauce. And I highly, highly recommend, if you are in Istanbul, come here. They're not paying me. They're not a sponsor of this video. If they started sponsoring my videos, you would see me get really fat. That's so good. I got this one, which I'm going to eat now. I already got takeaway for later as well. Come here and try it. You have to try it for yourself. The European side of Istanbul holds one of the coolest mysteries of the city. It's right here at the Pera Palace Hotel. This hotel is over 130 years old and has housed some very famous guests, including Ernest Hemingway, the great Mustafa Kemal Ataturk many times, Alfred Hitchcock, And one very famous guest is Agatha Christie, who often had a room here. And everyone knows, well, maybe not everyone, but you're about to know, that room was number 411. And it is said that she wrote the Murder on the Orient Express in that room. And there's also a time in Agatha Christie's life where she went missing for 11 days. And this 11-day period is referenced in her autobiography. No one knows what happens, but it is said that inside room 411, there is a key hidden somewhere. And this key opens a room in Mishba Mubayesh's mansion in Yeni. He was the former owner of this hotel. And in that room, there is a notebook with a detailed account about what happened during her 11-day disappearance. We are inside the famous Pera Palace Hotel. Very nice. You can still stay here. Oh, let's look in here. Wow. Along the staircase here is a portrait of Mishba Mubayesh, who was the owner. And apparently the details of the 11 days that Agatha Christie went missing somewhere at his mansion. So Ataturk's room is here, number 101. A lot of important decisions were made in this room. I'm not sure if I can take video, but if I can take pictures, I will do that. Well, that was great. Unfortunately, I couldn't take video, but that gives you something to look forward to when you make it to Istanbul. You can access Ataturk's room from 10 to 11 in the morning and 3 to 4 in the afternoon. So I don't think this other room is a museum, but I just want to go and check out the Agatha Christie room. Oh, here it is. The Agatha Christie room, 411, where she wrote The Murder on the Orient Express. And apparently somewhere in there is hidden the key that unlocks a notebook with the details of her 11-day absence. Maybe it's made up, or maybe it's real and someday they'll find it. Well, we got lucky because security saw me and told me that I can't go up there after I'd already gone up there. He also told me that Agatha Christie's room 411 is a room that guests can stay in. It's not a museum. So that's pretty cool. If you come here, you can specially request to stay in that room and then look for the hidden key. And if you find it, leave a comment and let us all know. We're waiting for the train here. And I know what you're thinking, who cares? Well, this train actually goes over the Galata Bridge, which connects the modern part of Istanbul on the European side, Beyoğlu, with the old city. So I think we're gonna get a pretty cool view. And it also goes over the Golden Horn, which is kind of an inlet to the Bosphorus Strait. And they called it this because the water would turn gold with the sun reflecting off of it. Wasn't expecting that. of the old city, the historic center of Istanbul. It is pretty touristy, but important to learn about some of the history. So in 667 AD, the Greeks called this place Byzantium, and that led into the Byzantine Empire, which is where the Emperor Constantine the Great, who is from Niš, Serbia, and I did a video on Niš, Serbia. Great video if you want to check it out, but I forgot to mention that, so that's important. Emperor Constantine changed the name of this city in 330 AD to Constantinople, and it kept that name for a while. The locals would call this Istanbul during the Ottoman Empire, but the official name was not changed to Istanbul until the 1920s. So here we are. There are a lot of Byzantine ruins here. So the Byzantine Empire, if you're not familiar, is when Rome split into two parts, the East and the West, and the Byzantine Empire was the Eastern Roman Empire. Right in the middle of the city here, hidden in plain view, is Nakkaş carpet store. And apparently, inside this carpet store, there is a kind of hidden entrance to the Nakilbent Cistern, which is a 6th century Byzantine cistern that not many people know about. I can't film in the actual carpet store, so. So this is the cistern from the 6th century Byzantine era. Just underneath the carpet shop. And the carpet shop took extra special care not to damage any of this in its construction. Some artifacts, but it also says that it's available in the gift shop, so yeah. So the cistern has 18 pillars and was built in the time of Emperor Justinian and is thought to have been a place that supplied water to the Great Palace of Constantinople. I was not actually the only person who knew about that. I guess a couple people go in there, try to check out the cistern. You might have noticed that quite a few tourists come here. This is the Hagia Sophia Grand Mosque, one of the most iconic structures in all of Istanbul. So let's talk about the history of this structure real quick. From 360 AD to 1204, this was actually an Eastern Orthodox church. But then when the Fourth Crusade came in, this became a Catholic church until 1261, when it was reverted to an Eastern Orthodox church. It remained an Eastern Orthodox church until 1453, when the Ottomans came in and turned this into a mosque. And it continued to be a mosque until 1935, and it was turned into a museum. And it was a museum until everyone's favorite year, 2020, when this was reverted back into a mosque. And today, it is the Hagia Sophia Grand Mosque. And one interesting thing to note about this is that in the 6th century, Emperor Justinian of the Byzantine Empire named the current capital of Bulgaria, Sophia, after this building right here. And I did a video about Sophia. I don't think it's going to be released by the time I release this, but check it out. It's a good one. Here's a closer look at the Grand Mosque. At the moment, you can only go in to pray, no visitors allowed. But inside, if you were to come here, there's actually a wishing column where you can line up and put a finger or thumb into the column and make a wish. And if your thumb comes out or your finger comes out and has wetness on it, the wish will come true. Or you will be healed. That's how the story goes. So if you come here, you can give it a try. It looks like we won't get to try it in this episode though. If you head further north from Hagia Sophia, you will find the walls of Constantinople. They're Theodosian walls that stretched from the Golden Horn to the Sea of Marmara, and they protected the Byzantines for about 1,000 years from the invaders coming in from the north like Attila the Hun. This seems to be the entrance. Enormous walls. And really thick. It'd be hard to get through that. I see steps up there, but I'm not sure if people can go up. Well, I see railings there. Maybe I'm on the wrong side. There we go. Let's see if I can get up there for a view. Head down this street and see if there is a way up. I'm seeing these fences blocking off what I guess would be staircases leading up. So they must not be letting people up at the moment. These walls are pretty cool. Just keep stretching on down. If you are bummed out and you wanted a nice view, don't worry, because I have done some research and found what is apparently the best viewpoint in Istanbul. And that is where we are going to go next. So we're walking through Eyüp, the holiest Islamic neighborhood in Istanbul, because a French author in the late 1800s named Pierre Loti lived here instead of Pera, where the Pera Palace Hotel is, like most of the other Europeans. And one of the reasons he lived here is because of this view. So this hill is called Pierre Loti Hill, named after him. The view is different than what you normally see from the Bosphorus Strait. This is the Golden Horn leading into the Bosphorus. Another nice perspective of Istanbul. Zoom in a little bit. An absolutely gorgeous city that many, many people have fallen in love with, including Pierre Loti and myself. So I think that is all we have time for today. I hope you guys found some interesting places to visit that are a little bit off the beaten path. I will see you guys in the next episode. I still have more of Turkey to explore.